If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Y'all gotta check this out. We got an AI rapper that is now signed to a label, and this is like a robot. It's like an artificial intelligence virtual creation, but it actually just dropped the song with Gunna. So let's look at this and see what this is about and what this could imply for hip-hop and the music industry. So let's jump straight into this. So there's a rapper called FN Meka, and you can find him on social media. He's got over like millions and millions of likes and followers on TikTok, for example. On there, he's doing like these I don't know, this kind of sounds weird, but he's like flexing digitally, like virtually. Like he's got like digital planes, digital Bugattis, like everything that you could imagine a rapper having in real life, he got it in the digital world. And he himself is just a digital creation. And the thing about that this FN Meka guy, is that he was created by two people, Anthony Martini and Brandon Lee, and they have a record label, a virtual record label called Factory New. And they created this AI, and they programmed him to be this virtual person that is like all over, TikTok and in the metaverse and all that stuff. But his voice is human. Like somebody spoke some words, and they like transcribed it into him then doing the mouth movements and him kind of adjusting to whatever he's got to say. But they only did that once. Like they programmed a preset of certain words into him, but everything that he's saying after that is artificial intelligence putting together the words that he was programmed into. So he comes up with his own lyrics, he does his own flows, he does all of that. It's not like the person is rapping like the person that spoke. It's actually the AI rapping and kind of like taking the words that were pre-programmed into him and then putting them into a verse. And he just dropped a song with Gunna, and this is so crazy. He dropped a song with Gunna. It's called Florida Water. You can look it up on Spotify. And the funny thing is, I actually listened to this song before I knew that this was an AI, because it showed up on like my Spotify front page or just like wherever new releases, whatever. And I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, who is this dude? He got a Gunna feature. I listened to the song, and it sounds like he's human. You got to listen to the track. You got to see what this dude sounds like, because it is so human that you are not able to distinguish, Gunna's verse from this AI verse. And that's what's really scary about this as well. I have a lot of questions in my head concerning this and what this could mean for hip-hop. Of course, couldn't you then just get all, kind of like fake Jay-Z verses? Like if somebody just wanted a feature from Jay-Z, wouldn't he then be able to go to the same AI technology and just program in, like take a couple of Jay-Z interviews, kind of extract the words from there, get like the language pattern, whatever from him, and then put them together as a Jay-Z verse. And then you wouldn't be able to distinguish anymore what's a real Jay-Z verse that Jay-Z actually gave to you because he like messes with you and just decides to hop on a verse, and the ones that just do fake Jay-Z verses. There's a lot that we can discuss about this. How are we going to be able to distinguish that from all the other stuff that's around there if everything is just fake? And also what's kind of funny to think about, where this guy could go. Like, how is this dude going to be successful? Who's going to be collecting the money? Probably the record label. He's signed to this It's so funny. He's signed to this record label, and he's like his own entity. Like, of course they like program him, and they're like, okay, make a song with this BPM and like with this type of style, like do a triplet flow, whatever. But then he comes up with the lyrics himself, with like the pockets, the cadences, all himself, because he was like taught once, like, okay, rap like this. And probably he's like gathering information from all over streaming services as to what kind of flows people are using, and then putting them together as his own. It's really crazy to think about it. And if this dude becomes extremely successful, I mean, the song already got like over 1 million streams on Spotify. He's got 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Then where does that leave him? Like, is he just going to be respected as a fellow rapper? Like, if he gets into the charts, is he going to be invited to like the Billboard Music Awards? Like, where is the limit to what this guy could do? It's so crazy to think about. Concerning this gathering information and putting together his own verses, one of the founders, this Anthony Martini guy that I was telling y'all about, said, technically speaking, FN Meka is voiced by a human, but everything else about him, from his lyrics to the chords and tempo underpinning his music, is based on AI. So it's like, he's just a complete entity himself that I'm not sure how people will interact with. Also, the executive vice president of Capital Music Group's marketing and business development section, they have a partnership with this FN Meka dude from the AI people that I told you about, and he said it meets at the intersection of music, technology, and gaming culture. It's just a preview of what's to come. So when you think about it in the future, like, it's just a preview of what's to come. We can think about the metaverse. We can think about rappers going digital. We already have people that, rappers buying up NFTs and stuff like that. But it's like, this is like the next couple of steps that we're going to be able to see this developing. Maybe at some point we'll have a virtual version of every rapper out there. I kind of imagine that funny. A couple of virtual, like Young Thugs walking around, a couple of virtual like Yeats walking around, and they just like walking around the metaverse screaming, rocking a turban. That's kind of where my mind goes when thinking about this. I think the change is inevitable. The innovation and the stuff that's still to come is inevitable. We're gonna have to like witness it, and it's no like turning back, because that's just where this whole thing is headed, especially music. We've had music releases drop as NFTs. I believe Meek Mill did it, Tory Lanez did it. They made a lot of money off of that, and they also allowed the fans to make a lot of money off of that, because they then allowed the fans to resell the exclusive music that is just under that one NFT. So it's like we've seen certain segments of this already be implemented, but then when you go into the whole picture of then the virtual artist selling the NFTs, and you having to buy like an NFT from the virtual artist in the metaverse to get access to the music that you want to listen to, that's when it starts to get really crazy. It's going to be interesting to see how many virtual rappers, how many non-real, rappers we're going to, still see popping up in the near future. Maybe this is just the first one of many to come. That's going to be very interesting to see. I also wonder how hard it is to program this. I don't know if they've worked on this for 10 years, or if this was just a thing that they could replicate easily, because if they can replicate that easily, a lot of the problems that I talked about earlier, they will inevitably come true as well. And that's where I see the main problem at, and that's where maybe we need some regulations. Also in the music industry, maybe that virtual artist can't get into certain charts. Right now, this FN Meka dude is just going to be in the Spotify charts. Maybe that these rappers cannot receive awards, even if the biggest song of the year was done by a virtual rapper, which is crazy to think about, but maybe it'll come out to that. Maybe rappers will have like features from their own virtual selves, and I think there actually be a big difference between just virtual rappers that were invented as an AI, and then replicas of like real life rappers that then have a virtual representation of themselves. But all this is still in the future. At least we have this FN Meka dude with this Florida water track with with Gunna. Now I want to know what you think about this. How do you see this whole thing? Are you skeptical? Are you interested in this? Are you interested to see what things could still go, where this could get carried to in the future? And what implementations do you see for the use of this technology in hip hop, and how could it also enrich the music and the culture? All your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.